What's up? What's up, everyone? How you doing? Happy Friday. Happy Good Friday for those. Welcome to the show, the N.W.A. podcast. I am your boy Niner Sickness coming to you live on this beautiful Friday. I got my boys on the dock waiting to come on, Mr. Boston Hater himself and Florida Mike. We're going to have a great show tonight. With no further ado, let me bring these guys in so we can all say hello. What's up, Boston Hater?
Hey, what's up, guy?
And what's going on there, Florida Mike?
Hey, what's going on, my Niner family? Hope everybody's having a blessed night. Just got back from King Kong vs. Godzilla.
Good one. Yeah. Let's see here. Let's get situated. There we go. What's going on, Tom? How you doing, Kathy? Kevin Hart. Welcome. How's everybody? Man, today's I'm gonna let you guys do most of the talking today, man, because this week has been a little bit overwhelming for me, so I'm kind of worn out all week. But we're definitely gonna talk some football. We're gonna have some fun, and just looking forward to the season. So, how was your week there, Florida Mike?
Man, it's been busy, man. I got a couple closings coming up this week, so that's a blessing. But just grinding, man, making everything do what it do, and coming on to the show, getting ready to talk our Niners, man. And big shout out to all the fans, guys. Hello to everybody out there.
Right on. And how was your week there, Boston Hater?
Business as usual. Nothing out of the ordinary. Pretty low key for the most part. I'm just glad. Let's ready to get it started.
Right on. Real quick, just make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Let us know what your thoughts are. We appreciate it. Yeah, man, it's been a crazy week this week, but it's Friday. It's Good Friday. For those that are Christians or Catholics, but man, it's been a tough week. What topic you guys want to open up about tonight?
Let's go ahead, and I'm going to push the elephant in the room right away. First off, all this nonsense about who's going to be drafted. Oh my God! Don't let it be this guy. I'm done with it. I'm not interested in any of that. It's going to be what it's going to be. At some point, as we draw closer to the draft, I will give my opinions on how each and every one of these guys. I'm looking at a lot of tape of all four of them, and I'm talking about Jones and not Lawrence, because I'm pretty confident he's going to be gone. The other four. So once we get to that point, I'm going to break down what I see and I perceive. And other than that, I'm not going to entertain all this nonsense about Kyle's going to draft some bum off the street to be our starting quarterback of the future. I'm not entertaining it. So, yeah, that's where I'm at with that.
Yeah, I hear you, man. It's just we're about a month away. There's a lot of speculations. A lot of different fans have a lot of different feelings about what or who the Niners should go. At the end of the day, man, we'll find out as we get closer, and it's going to be the team's call.
Yeah, this is the problem. You got these people that know nothing, sitting up talking about, oh, he's going to draft this one. Oh, he's going to draft this one. And they get on TV and they fill people's heads with a bunch of nonsense. They don't know. You know what? Did anybody listening to this show, anybody hear anything come up about that trade until it actually happened? So what makes you think that these people have some insight to who they're going to draft? They weren't talking about that trade. And they're sure not talking about this draft. They don't know. They're just running their mouths. Don't get all hyped up. Don't get yourself put in that box listening to what these idiots are saying. You got fools saying it's a done deal. And I mean, come on, man. Really? It's a done deal. First off, they don't know who's going at number 2. So you can't say you're done. There's always somebody who wants to jump up and do this. And, if the Jets get a killer deal, the Jets aren't opposed to moving, but it's going to take a lot. So this is a team that has a lot of pieces and holes they need to fill. And if you're willing to part with that to make that happen for them, you're probably going to be willing to do it. So, yeah, it's hard to say you locked yourself down on one guy. So, somebody going to take him. Stop listening to these people. Don't ever mention Grant Cohn in this darn chat either. That's one of the biggest clickbait fools in the industry. So he'll say anything. He'll turn around. He'll tell you that they're drafting this guy, and then he'll turn around 2 weeks from now and tell you they're drafting somebody else. Well, but I thought you said, because you cover the team, that this is where you were with it, but it changes up all the time. Let it go.
Yep. What's your thoughts, Mike?
To add on to that.
Go ahead and add to it. I'm trying to bring in Eric real quick.
Also, the root of this show, guys, we didn't make this show to sound like everybody else. We made this show because we, as Niner faithful, follow our team like you guys do. The difference with us and and those talking heads out there that you guys watch with these big platforms is we actually follow our team every day, 365. They only follow our team when it's convenient. So here's a funny thing. Let us be 2-14 like we were in the bad down years. They know nothing about our team. They couldn't even tell you our roster. But when we get to the Super Bowl, they all of a sudden know who we are. We know our team, win or lose, all year round. So our view and our critique of our team is more expertise. Put it like this. If you watch your kids every day, you have children, you watch your kids every single day, you're going to know your kids better than someone who sees them part-time of the year, part-time of the week. They're not going to know your kids on the level that you know your kids because you have an intimate relationship with them. And that's how we are on this panel. You know what I mean? We watch our team 365. So when these talking heads start coming up with these scenarios and then they making Niner fans who watch this team, think the way that they think. Here's the funny thing, and here's facts. These same talking heads that you guys are, let's just put it out there, okay? A lot of you guys are worried about Mac Jones being the pick, right? I'm going to put it out there. But these same talking heads that are promoting that ideology now are the same talking heads that said we was going to get Matthew Stafford. How'd that turn out? These same talking heads said that we was going to get Deshaun Watson now that he wants to come to us in Denver, and rape allegations came out or whatever. But how'd that turn out? We're probably not going to get him, more than likely. We gave up too much. These same talking heads said that we was going to get a plethora of quarterbacks, and how that turned out. Now, all of a sudden, they're not even talking about those quarterbacks anymore. They was talking about we was going to get Sam Darnold. Like, it kept going on and on and on. What I'm trying to say is, if you don't see the pattern, they need a story to talk about because they have nothing to talk about until the draft gets here. So they're going to make you clickbait. They're going to put in scenarios to get you talking, and that's exactly how they stay relevant until they have something to talk about. So the difference with this show is we don't need to come up with fake scenarios. We focus solely on our team, and we're the experts of our team, and we can talk about real stuff with our team. And until Shanahan hasn't even revealed what he wants to do, nobody knew the Niners are going to go number 3. And last but not least, to add on to what Nate said, Brother Boston Hater, we don't even know if we're going to have Jimmy Garoppolo. There's nothing right now. The reality is it looks that way, but things can change between now and draft day. What if we get, a draft pick that we like? That changes. And guess what? These talking heads ain't even in a position to say they know, or we have inside information. If you had inside information, then why were you never saying nothing about us moving up to number 3? How do you have inside information when Kyle Shanahan has made it clear that his lips are sealed tight? He's not leaking anything. That's giving up his strategic approach. It's not intelligent for a GM and a coach to be able to give themselves up. So bottom line, if you listen to the talking heads after listening to the show, then you are the ones who's responsible for how you feel and overreacting and getting your emotions worked up. On this panel, and I'll speak for all of us, none of us have been worked up over what's being said because number one, we don't listen to the talking heads. But number two, if it's brought to our attention from someone who does, we understand that the reality is nobody but Kyle Shanahan knows what he's going to do. And at this point, he might not know because things can change from now until a month. We don't even know if we're going to have Jimmy G. So how can we know who we're going to draft? It makes no sense. You know what I mean? So if you want to listen to Talking Heads, that's your choice. But understand, Talking Heads get no play on this show.
Yeah, absolutely. And we got our boy Eric joining us as well. Welcome, Eric.
What's up, guys? How's everybody doing? Sorry for the late show.
That's all right, bro. Now the show started.
Bro,
the man himself is here tonight, so now we can proceed.
Trying
Any
to figure out who
thoughts?
Kevin Hart is.
I know. I read that name too. I got a giggle when I read that.
Always get a giggle.
You know
Nah,
what?
I mean,
Nate better keep comments to himself, Nate. Stop it.
But
I'm going to get emotional and cry.
everything up to the draft is speculation. There's nothing guaranteed of what, as far as the direction. Yeah, I mean, obviously, outside of quarterback, we haven't showed the cards that we have as far as which quarterback we're going to take, this, that, and the other. Kyle and John haven't really showed that much as far as what they're going to do. And as far as it comes to Jimmy, so far it looks like the plans are to just move forward with Jimmy. It would take a good offer, overwhelming offer, not a good, overwhelming offer for them to move on from Jimmy. I think. I don't necessarily think it has to be It has to be a first round pick. We could be talking about a second round this year and maybe a pick that can turn into something greater down the road. But I don't even see that happening.
Hey, and I also like to add to the fact that these same talking heads, if you guys go back to the draft recently with Mike McGlinchey, how many of these talking heads had us picking Mike McGlinchey? I mean, listen, guys, every year they do this with every team, but in ours particular, they're talking about us like they know us. They don't. They don't identify our brand and our needs. They don't know a damn thing about our team. These guys come out here and put out information just to clickbait, to get views, to have something to talk about. That's their job. If you fans don't give them attention, they're not doing their job. So they're going to create scenarios, and that's the basic marketing strategy, to create scenarios to get you to react to it and then get hyped up and overwork and debate who we should get. Reality is, man, none of these people know a damn thing. They don't know anything. These people just said last year we shouldn't have. Mahomes. They were talking about Mahomes not being worthy of draft and moving up, and Trubisky was that guy. Look how that turned out. If you want to still keep listening to these people, like I said, they had inside information, but they didn't tell you was getting Mike McGlinchey recently.
There was actually a lot of talk with the 49ers actually prior to that draft taking Trubisky. I don't know if y'all remember it or not, but I was like, yeah, I'm really glad we dodged that bullet.
We got Solomon Thomas instead.
Yeah, I thought nothing of it. Even then.
And we traded back on top of that, and still, we had an opportunity and traded back, So Chicago was the one who came out of left field and got him, and we got Solomon Thomas. Like, nobody knows what you're going to do until draft day comes here. That's the reality. So Jacksonville is probably the only team right now that's a foregone conclusion. Everybody else is up in the air. There is no certainty with nobody else. So let's not get worked up over something we can't control. Let's have confidence that this is what I want to say, Beto. I'm glad that Kyle Shanahan moved up. And it's a big risk. It's something that in the history, it shows that moving up for a quarterback is not favorable. However, it doesn't mean that a first-round quarterback is not favorable. It just means those guys who moved up didn't get the best one. A lot of people didn't have to move all the way up to get Deshaun and Patrick Mahomes, but they got them. They moved up some or whatever, but they didn't have to move up like that and mortgage their future to get them. So When they got him, they made a good decision. But here's the thing: we need a quarterback. Garoppolo's not consistently healthy, so we have to have a quarterback. We saw what our season looked like without a quarterback. Here's the difference: we can't go off of what history says. Kyle Shanahan has been proven to take mediocre quarterbacks and do something with them. Matt Schwab with the Texans, prime example. When he had Kyle Shanahan, he had his best year with Kyle Shanahan. After that, I don't remember Schwab doing a whole lot. Matt Ryan, another example. Kirk Cousins, another example. He made these guys look better than what they were. RG3, the list goes on. So, you can take these, and Jimmy Garoppolo, hell, I got to name him because that's our guy. Garoppolo came here, got to a Super Bowl. So Kyle Shanahan's taking. The difference now is Kyle Shanahan's picking his guy. This is the first time he'll have the opportunity to handpick and mold his quarterback as opposed to inheriting a quarterback and making him better. So 5 quarterbacks that were not super elite and made them better than what they look like and had success. Why the hell do you think he can't do the same thing with a guy that he handpicks and develop him? Instead of worrying about what quarterback we're going to take, let's celebrate right now that and have confidence that Kyle Shanahan can do it. I don't question Kyle Shanahan when it comes to picking his quarterback because I'm confident that he can mold it into what he want to be. He did it with 5 other quarterbacks who weren't his pick. So why not now? Why can't he get a dude and do that now? That's just my 2 cents.
Okay. I want to piggyback off of that as well. One of the things that I know a lot of you probably watched the presser with John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan. One of the things he said is you move up to get a special talent. All right. Now, anybody that knows what we currently have in Jimmy has limitations. I'm not saying he's not a good player. I'm saying he's got limitations. So why would you move up and give up, all the draft capital that we gave to move up to get somebody with limitations? And, that's all I have to say about it. That's pretty simple. If he would say that himself, why would he turn around and draft somebody with limitations? He's already got that.
True.
Right on.
The only thing I think the only certainty we have at 3 is that we're taking a quarterback. At that point, we don't know which quarterback it is. That's the only certainty that we have. And we're just gonna right the ship. You know what I mean? And just look forward for a great 21 season. One of the things that I want to do is I really want to stay healthy. I want to play healthy. I want to be healthy, and just win games. I think it's going to be a great season. What I want to get your thoughts, kind of get away from the quarterback situation. What are your thoughts of the 17 games versus the 16 games? Anyone?
17. I feel like 16 was enough, personally. I'm starting to feel like they're pushing toward being the USFL and getting to that 18-game schedule. I don't think that they're done. I think they really want to get there because the NFL is ridiculous as it pertains to revenue. And 2 games all throughout an additional 2 games on the schedule, 16 teams. 16 games because there's 32 teams. That's 32 more games. That's a ton of revenue. So I can see why they would want to do it. The drawback that I think is not fair to the players is, you get paid by the game. And now everybody's per game salary just went down because they're not getting any more money. So, but all that revenue, and especially in 2021, is going straight to the owners. So I think that's a big bunch of crap.
To kind of comment about what you were saying about the 17 games, did they make any changes to the preseason? Did they cut the preseason?
Yes, they cut it down to 3 games.
I was hoping they were cutting it more, but
I was looking for 0. That's what I was looking for. I want there to be just strictly, um, you know, teams getting together, running these inter practice games, have some inter squad games, keep it keep it where simply put, you're just doing it and you're not televising it, you're not charging the fans that are buying season tickets for these nonsense games. And that's
Yeah.
what I would really like to see. Give me 2 more regular season games and get rid of those preseason games, because that way, at least I'm paying for one more game that I'm actually getting quality, and not garbage.
Yeah. I mean, I would have been fine with just one or two, but
Season ticket holders got to pay for that, man. It's the same price as
yeah.
the rest of the games. It's trash. Yeah, I'm not okay with it.
Well, we've seen. I mean, granted, even without a preseason, we've seen the amount of depth that rosters had to go through last year, and that was just with six. That was just that was just with those six. Those 16 games with COVID and injury and everything else. So
I believe they
I
need to
think,
expand the rosters too. They need to, if they're gonna expand the number of games you play, they need to expand the rosters, and they need to up the percentages on the salary cap so that you can accommodate more people on the roster. And
yeah,
and if all they do, the one thing they do, you got 46 people that are active on game day. Make all 53. That's the first thing they need to start by doing. Make the 53-man roster all game day available.
yeah, I've always thought that was foolish.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a question for the panel. Um, what do you think is, we were talking about Mac Jones a minute. I mean, Mac Jones a minute ago. What is the difference with the way, because like I said, I don't watch these talking heads, but I can't help but see our fans on certain individual sites that I might check out here and there, um, outside of ours. What do you think about these people that are believing this hype about Matt Jones coming to us, but then they're hyping him up, saying he has all this and that in his tools, but yet him and Trey Lance played damn near the same amount of football games in their career. I think Lance actually has more games than him, maybe by one game, technically.
Mm, you said him and who now?
Trey Lance, like, have they
You
played the same
asking
amount of
Mac
games,
Jones?
or Lance has more?
Okay.
Yeah,
I can't speak on the number of games they've played, but I can
right.
tell you that Mac Jones has definitely thrown about twice, almost twice the number of passes in his collegiate career that yes. Mac Jones has thrown about 560 odd passes, and uh Lance is, I think, just barely over 300. So,
Mm,
nearly double. So,
right.
uh, I don't know how many, but I also know that Lance is in a very run heavy offense, so that might limit his pass attempts. But as far as the number of games they played, I really don't.
Got it. Understood. That makes sense. I was just trying to wonder. I was curious because I think Lance technically has one more game more than him in his career, but I don't know that to be certain. I haven't sat up here and added up that, but I know they're pretty damn close, at least. So, but now that's cool. I mean, like I said, guys, stop worrying about what these pundits are talking about, man. They don't follow our team. They don't care about our team until we do something major that they can benefit off of to get clicks. So just keep that in mind every time you give them that attention, man. You're gonna hear more solid, real concrete info from us four here than those bums on the networks. So they can just continue to read off their cue cards.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, you just
Yeah, and
gotta.
I did say the word bums, so I didn't stutter. I'm not. I said that's coming from Florida Mike. That's coming from me.
All right,
So
down killer, down killer. This is a
Yeah, definitely.
PG show.
I definitely did. I was gonna say that is a nice hat, regardless of how old it is. It's got red and gold on it, so that's
Yeah,
what's up.
Hey, so let me ask you guys this. With that being said about the 17 games, do you guys feel like we should get rid of the preseason all in totality? Because what are they doing with the preseason now? Are they? I see Boss Hater gave me. That's right.
Hell
Are
no.
they? Are they giving? Are they saying we're going to minimize the preseason this year to 2 games? What's the deal on that?
It's three
Three
games.
three games. They just took
Three
one.
games.
They
Okay.
added one regular game. They took one preseason game out.
So
My
let's
thing
break
is,
this
is on
down.
a
Go ahead.
my
Go ahead, Mike.
Go ahead,
My,
man.
my thing is on a player standpoint. Are these players getting compensated for an extra game, or
No, they're
are
not.
they just playing for free?
They're not.
That's the
They're
problem. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's what I just said. I mean, I said that players' salary is broken up over 16 game, and this is their base salary because they get a signing bonus. Some have roster bonuses and some escalators because of different achievements, whether it's the number of snaps you play, the percentage of snaps you play. There's all kinds of different escalators, whether you make the Pro Bowl, etc. But here's the thing. They basically, their base salary is broken down in 16 months, but 17 games is not a factor in 99% of these people's contract because since they decided and said that they were going to play 17 games, who's been signed since then? Nobody. I have not heard of not one signing since they said 17 games. So it's
Yeah.
very interesting that they can just throw an extra game on there, but they're not throwing extra pay on there. I don't like it. I disagree with it wholeheartedly. But on the flip side, the more of the preseason you get rid of and the more regular season games you get, I'm okay with. And don't get me wrong, I'm not totally objecting to the preseason as just they need to work on their games. What I object to is the fact that they charge people to watch what is truly an inferior product, and it is garbage. And I don't believe in that. I believe that they should, if they're going to open the doors and let people in free, I have no issue with it anymore. It's the fact that they charge people for that junk. I mean, I can watch a bunch of semi-pro players assemble at some park around here and get the same quality of football. I don't believe that you should be paying NFL prices for a damn preseason game.
Oh, I agree with you there. No argument there.
Yeah.
100% agree. I mean, I don't mind preseason games, but I can argue the fact that they are charging the ticket season holders those games. If they cut out those prices from the season ticket holders, and you don't have to pay for those,
I'm good. That
I
way,
hear you.
that want to go to preseason games and want to pay to go to them, but you are obligated as a season ticket holder to pay for those 2 games.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Bull.
Now I know me and Nate had talked about this, but are you still a season ticket holder, Beto?
No. Unfortunately, I'm not. A lot of
Okay.
it because of my disability. It's just
Gotcha.
hard. Yeah, those. I think in sports is the only place, and no disrespect to women. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I think in sports games is the only place where bathrooms are longer than the women's for the men.
The restroom lines, they're insane.
Yeah, with my disability, bro, I can't. Yeah, they're like all that beer they're drinking, so they got to go in there and. I'm diabetic too, so my sugars go up and down, so I have to be real careful. And I found myself not enjoying the game as much because I was more concerned about, am I going to go to the restroom? Am I going to do this, do that? So I'm like, you know what? I got a big 75-inch screen on my wall. I have surround sound. Just watch it at home. It's just me and my wife. So if I need to use the restroom, we got 2.5 bathrooms. So there's one always available. Plus, I used to live, when I was a season ticket holder, I lived in San Jose, which I was only about 8 minutes away. Now that I moved over to Riverbank, I'm about an hour and 40 minutes away. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
That still ain't too bad, but
Uh, I
yeah, I
was always a
understand.
lot farther than that, and I was a season ticket holder for 20 years.
Yeah. Well, again, for me,
Yeah.
driving that for that length of time with my disability in my back, it's
Yeah, it's
painful.
rough. Yeah,
Before my injury, I drove. I would drive further as well. I agree with you, but
I wasn't
unfortunately,
driving.
you go into a different bracket with disability, and you just gotta
I
adjust
was
to it.
fine, bro. I rarely drove.
I'd have to fly
Well,
from
I drove
Louisiana
for a
to
living.
go.
Remember, Nate? I drove an 18 wheeler for a living. Semi,
Yeah.
So driving was never an issue for me. It's just with the disability, but I do go games occasionally here and there. I just found it's nicer just to pick a game here or there and just go and enjoy the one game or two and not have to be obligated to go every day. I mean every Sunday. I enjoy it at home, but I agree with Nate. I do. I'm a big rah guy. Everybody knows me for that. There's no secret about that. My pom poms are right there in the case next to me. But I do agree. If you're going to go to the preseason games, they should not charge the fans for one. Or if they want to charge, it's up to the fans if they want to pay, I guess. But it should be at a way lower cost than a regular normal seat would cost. And they should not make the season ticket holders pay for that. So for there, I completely agree because a lot of like Nate, if he's a season ticket holder, he's not going to go to none of those two games of preseason, but yet he's being charged for it. So if you think about it, that's kind of messed up. So for that perspective, I agree. But you know what? Also, too, guys, if we do get more regular seasons and less preseasons, I'm good. I just love to watch football. I just want to get a lot of football in. So it doesn't matter if it's in the beginning or at the end. Well, it does matter because I guess there's more emphasis in a regular season game than there is in the preseason game. So with that said, yeah, I think they should, but they won't because it's all about money. And the owners, all they care is about money. They don't care about anything else but money.
Is this universal across the league? Like every team is doing that with their season ticket holders?
It's mandatory, bro. It's not even an option.
Yeah.
And forget about the PSLs. I was paying for that.
That's what got me away from it. If it wasn't for PSLs, I'd still be a season ticket holder now.
Oh, technically, I'm still a season ticket holder, I guess, because all I'm doing is I'm selling my tickets to pay for what I owe. But I'm gonna eventually get rid of somebody buys me out of my PSL. That's what I'm stuck on, and then I'll be completely out. So
How much longer do you have on that? Because that's a 15-year deal, right?
I got it in 2016.
Yeah, when they moved, right?
Yep, the first year they opened. Yeah,
Okay, so was that 16?
it was 14.
I thought it was 14.
Yeah, 14.
Yeah, 14. Yeah, 14 then. Sorry.
You're roughly about halfway. Yeah. You know what? I won't buy season tickets again until that's over with.
Yeah, I won't make that mistake again either. Yeah.
That's what I'm waiting for to get out of that stupid PSL. So.
Yeah, because we're paying for that stadium. That's not even ours.
Do you know what? Does anybody know what PSLs are and what they're for?
I think we need to explain that to the fan base. Let's do it.
Okay. All right. Well, what it's called a preferred seating license. That's what PSL stands for.
Mm-hmm.
And what they do is basically they charge you this fee. Now, with my tickets, it was going to be almost $16,000 per seat. And they financed that over 15 years. And you haven't even bought the ticket yet. You're just getting preferred seating.
Yep.
What they do is every sporting event, or not even sporting event, every event that's in that stadium, you have the one of the first rights and options to purchase tickets for those particular events. Doesn't matter if it's a concert or this, well, as a season ticket, I didn't care about that. I'm not going to pay $16,000 to be able to go to a random soccer game, what's her name? Ariana Grande concert. I don't care about that stuff. I want football seats. That's it. I didn't care about nothing else. So why am I going to spend $32,000 to have preferred seating license? No. So I decided that for 15 years, I will not even consider season ticket ownership.
And why they do the 15 years is because that's how they paid the stadium off in those 15 years.
Well, if you think about it and you do the math, Actually, it damn near pays for it. It's real close because you look at the price of the stadium and then you look at the number of season ticket holders, and they have an average. Now, in Santa Clara, the average PSL is $8,600.
Yeah,
No,
86.
and then you multiply that by the number of season ticket holders they had, which was something in the neighborhood of like 39,000.
Around there, yeah.
Yeah. So if you do the math on that, you'll see that that $1.2 billion stadium, they paid for a lot of it.
Yeah.
Well, not to mention now, I mean, I'm pretty sure with this extra game and well, no, it ain't extra because they took one off. Never mind. Disregard. I was gonna say the price would jump up a little bit, but no, they adjusted the games.
Well, yeah, but now remember, it's going to be 3 preseason games. Now, one lucky fan is still going to pay for 2 versus 1 because you got to determine who's going to have the 2 games at home and who's going to have opposed to having the 1. I don't know if they're going to rotate that every other year.
Oh yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah. Okay.
For those that don't understand, let me explain. All right, you're going to have alternating in that 17th game. Always know that whatever team you get, like for instance, this year we play the AFC South. That's the AFC division that we play. All right. So automatically you're going to get from the opposite. You got the South and you play all 4 of those teams. Your 17th game is going to be against the North. So, and it's all matters where you place. So, yep. We placed 4th. The Bengals placed 4th. That's why we're playing them. Now, home road, it alternates from year to year. So your game 17 is supposed to be, and you know what? I know it's funny because it can't work the way that they're saying it's going to work. Because now you can't control who gets what place every year. So you can't alternate it the way they say you can. It's going to be all over the place. I think that ultimately this is just a stepping stone to ultimately going to 18 games, because that odd number of games, I don't ever remember the league having an odd number of games. They were a 12-game schedule. We were a 14-game schedule. We were a 16-game schedule. 17 is kind of weird. I was thinking that what they would do is they would give us basically where we played 3 of the 4 divisions over there, where it's like, okay, you bump us to 18 and you give us the North. And then since we have the South, then you give us the East or the West last place team. And that would be 18. So now it's balancing it out and you make 1 home and 1 away. And that way now you've got 9 home games, 9 away games. I have a feeling that that's probably not that far away, because there's no way they can balance this out. Because let's say that next year, let's say that Baltimore's on the road this year. So we come in first place and Baltimore comes in first place. Well, Baltimore was on the road, and I don't know, is our game a home game or a road game? I don't remember.
I don't know either. Right now I got to look into that.
It shows. I mean, they definitely already mentioned where it is, but I just don't recall. Maybe someone in the chat knows where whether that Cincinnati game is.
The Cincinnati game. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's a road game.
Okay, so Baltimore was on the road. We were on the road. Well, who gets the home game next year? See, you can't really control it. Somebody's going to be at home and somebody's going to be on the road again. So you're going to have 9 road games, 2 years in a row. And so, it's kind of hard to make that fair. So that's why I think that they're going to eventually stretch it to 18 games. And that's when we'll get to balance things out.
Hey, do me a favor, Boston haters, sneeze or something.
Oh, you know what? I'm frozen.
Yep.
I can see that. Yeah. I don't know why I'm frozen, but nonetheless, I am.
Yep. Yeah. I'm like, sneeze, fart, do something.
Yeah.
I was like, he's talking, but his mouth ain't moving.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah.
I got to learn how he's doing this.
I wasn't even paying attention to it, but I saw you waving your hand out there.
I'm trying to
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, he's a good ventriloquist.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, is this something I need to go out and come back in, or what is this?
Yes, sir.
Right, let me do that.
Yeah, I think that's all some great points, man. You know, me personally, I would like to see the NFL do what college is doing. No preseason, have a scrimmage, you know, prior to the season if you want to get the kinks out, learn something about your players, and have a scrimmage. And jump
Okay,
right on into the season. That's what I would like to see.
You're good.
You're welcome back, and you're good. Yeah. But I'm sorry, Mike. Repeat that for me one more time.
No, I was just saying that I'm a person that would love to see the preseason eradicated completely. And
Okay.
instead, maybe you can have a scrimmage to where these guys, like college football does, they do scrimmages, you know, and whether it's with their own team or another team, they do a scrimmage and then they
they
jump right into the
They
season.
they do that.
they scrimmage against opposing teams, and you'll even see like we're pretty good at almost annually, whether we play Denver in the preseason or not, we will always get
Broncos.
together and we'll play a scrimmage with them. Now
Right.
we
I
the
know the NFL does that, but I'm saying limited to the scrimmage and no
yeah,
preseason games. Like college
yeah,
has scrimmage and jumps into the season. I would like
I
to see
agree.
the NFL follow the same suit because to
Yes.
me, if you really want to see what your players are, you really want to know who makes the complete roster, who starts or whatever, see what you got, then do the scrimmage. That's what you do scrimmage for. You know, you can
Well,
practice against like we did with
Wasn't
Denver and
scrimmage the
stuff.
same thing as a preseason game?
oh no. See, here's the difference.
No,
The difference
no.
between a scrimmage and a preseason game is this. A scrimmage, you can go to a scrimmage if you want to, and you can sit up and watch it. A preseason game, you will pay for. That's the difference.
Okay, so the
I
money
don't
part of it.
mind them. That is where I have this malcontent. I'm 20-year season ticket holder, paid for 40 preseason games. I went to one. And I was regretting going to that one after I went because it's garbage. You know, you're
Well,
watching a bunch of
I would say too, a lot of these scrimmages aren't as televised as some of these
no, they're
preseason
not
games.
right.
So
You don't
that's the big difference right there. The scrimmages are not as televised, so
right.
therefore it doesn't allow the access as much. It's limited access. So you know we hear about a fight or a brawl that might happen, but outside of that, it's not a lot of that chatter going on as much as preseason. Whereas preseason, you see the starting quarterback. Let us draft a quarterback, for example, that some fans don't like, and they come in there and have a horrendous preseason. People are going to jump the gun and panic. But when they're in the scrimmage, it's a different scenario. You might be able to do more scenario based things for both teams. You know, it's just different. It's not televised.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
can play as
Some
horrible as
of
they
them
want.
are, but very few.
Right. It's not majority of them are not are like in preseason, everybody's televised for the most part. And scrimmages, handful, select few. So
Yeah.
I think because of that, the open public televised games will be impacted. And plus, if you eradicate the preseason, you eradicate those unnecessary injuries that really have no significant value. At least in a
Mm.
scrimmage practice, you know, injuries can happen, but I just feel like preseason, man, it's just if it were effective, why are they cutting the game down from 4 to 3? You know, obviously they understand like it's scrimmages. I mean, preseason games to me, it's just not a real purpose. You know what I mean? People want to see football, they want to see the season. So get rid of that. And if you're going to increase the season games, and just get rid of the preseason altogether and just do the season.
The other thing was the Pro Bowl. That's another thing they can go ahead and get rid of too.
Um, just name people to it as a achievement award, and you really don't need to play the game. It's like, yeah, you played at this level, you are a Pro Bowler, but we don't need to have the game. We really don't.
That
You know,
little,
with the
the
Pro
little
Bowl,
skills competition that they did or whatever,
yeah,
that's fine. Whatever, as long as they're not
yeah, yeah.
charging people for all that crap. But I mean, that's all for fun. But they don't need a actual Pro Bowl game anymore. I think we've been bored to death with that enough. Um, that's just my thoughts on that. I don't know how they factored that in, and golly, I'd hate to have to pay to go see that. I think I'd rather go see go see a preseason game than go watch the Pro Bowl. They're about equal to me.
I think I would rather go to the Lady Gaga concert personally, and I'm not going to that.
Well,
You're
the Pro
missing
Bowl
out,
has
bro.
been
You're
in my
missing out.
city. The Pro Bowl has been in my city for like the last 3 years, and I've gone to the Pro Bowl to take my son to enjoy. I will say this: I agree the game should not be played because I mean when you see like Derwin James catching a touchdown, stuff you normally don't see, versus Jamal Adams and all this stuff, it just becomes entertainment and unnecessary stuff. I like to see those guys do drills like E-Man said, but I think the fan part of it, how they did in Orlando, the fans got to participate in the events and combine events that players would as fans. So that aspect of it, I think is fun. The fan camaraderie, everybody's getting with their own team, doing family stuff. But the actual game, I mean, it's to me, it's nobody. It's the week before Super Bowl, man. Nobody caring about that damn game. How many people really watch it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not big
So-
into Pro Bowls either.
The only people who watch
And
are the
even-
people who are going to go attend, man.
And even then, they really dubbed down the fun of it when they moved it before the Super Bowl. I think that's when things really start to go downhill for the game.
Yeah, well, the first thing they did was they got rid of any possibility of the Super Bowl participants being a part of it. Yeah, you eliminated them right away. There's no way that they're going to stick their guys out there in what is essentially a meaningless exhibition.
Yeah, and get hurt.
Get hurt right before the Super Bowl.
Yeah, your starting quarterback gets hurt. Yeah, there goes your Super Bowl chances.
Yeah, when it was after it, you would see Super Bowl participants in the Pro Bowl all the time. Yeah, so
Or let
you dumb down the game even more.
Or do an all rookie team, all rookies versus all rookies.
Don't put my
they're
rookie.
playing. They're
Yeah.
playing for incentive, though.
Put other teams' rookies out there, not my team's rookies.
Well, yeah, absolutely. But I mean, that would even be a better idea than what they're doing now because the amount of money that these players are making already is just that incentive for doing great in a Pro Bowl game is just not that great. I wouldn't do it. I would opt out every season.
Yep.
But if I'm a rookie and I'm not on a big heavy contract or something like that, then sure, give me some money.
Watching the Laker game, Tom. Tom's like, "What are you doing, Beto?"
No,
the Laker team.
He said that when you were waving at the screen. That's when that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but yeah, no, I agree. It's more fun to watch a game with something meaningful, especially when your team is trying to get to the playoffs and so forth. So it's more important. And one thing about preseason too, though, I mean, the bad thing about it is I've seen players get hurt, starters get hurt in a game like that and miss half of the season, and it is a shame. But I mean, anybody can get hurt. But I guess if you would do preseason games, it should be all the second and third rounder, not third rounders, but the second and third string players should just play out there and keep your veterans out.
Yeah. Oh, so now we're going to go to basically the reason why I'm disgusted by the damn preseason, and we're going to make the Pro Bowl into a preseason game. And heck no, that's garbage. Get rid of it. Yeah. And they had all these little competitions and stuff. If you remember, and some people are probably old enough to recall this, they used to have this beach volleyball game that they would play when the Pro Bowl was in Hawaii. And there was this running back from Georgia, Robert Edwards.
Yep.
Robert Edwards blew out his knee in a beach volleyball game. Absolutely not. But he did play for Boston, so. So I wasn't highly upset. I just thought the principle itself, but the fact that he was from Boston, okay.
Shouldn't be in the sand. That's why he sticks to the grass.
That was volleyball.
Yeah, it was a beach volleyball game. They were playing volleyball in the sand, and he fell awkwardly, and yeah.
And that was it, huh?
Mhm.
Yeah, injuries, man.
Never the same. You know what? His career was pretty much done after that. He never returned to play at the level he was playing prior to that.
No, he was a beast before he got hurt.
Injuries, man. Don't you just
I don't
think
even
when it
think-
comes to injuries, it's just based on luck? Just I don't know.
Yeah, but
I see people take a lot of bad hits and never get injured.
All
I
I
see
know is
somebody
that
walk in the shadow get injured.
yeah, but I know that if it's some NFL sanctioned exhibition crap and my guy gets hurt, I'm gonna have a real problem with that.
Got you. Here you go, Mike.
Oh yeah, I'm just holding up the phone case. I just want to see it. But
Mike.
There
yeah,
you
no,
go.
I agree. I agree, man. What you guys are saying, that's good stuff, man. So, dang, it's already been an hour already. It's crazy.
It's empty though, bro.
Yeah, I finished that off.
I know. The more that thing went down, the more you started smiling. So
No, it's not that significant.
Yeah, I can't take my medicine while I'm doing my live. My wife would kick my butt. Too smoky.
Yeah, don't say that injury. Don't. We better get off the injury talk because I don't want anybody to get hurt.
Well,
One of us might get hurt just talking about it. Bite our tongue or something. I never did like the Pro Bowl. Yeah,
No.
I saw Showboat, but then I watched the All Stars, and so that's a topic for another day.
at the end of the day, it's all practice.
Yeah, there's nothing meaningful with it.
Yeah, practice is for the team. Practice is not for me, you, fans. They're the ones that are supposed to be dealing with that and working to get better. I don't need to pay for that and see all that nonsense. I'm not interested.
Yeah, and I'm not even sure how much of an impact this 17th game is going to really play in the matter, since they expanded the playoffs.
Oh,
Adding an additional team. So
it's going to be an issue. Yeah, you're going to
as long
see
as we
it.
don't see no 6-10 team play again, or should I say?
No, the thing is, you got 32 teams. Yeah, you're going to have 6 and 10 teams play. Then they're going to become 6 and 11. But bottom line is this: you're going to have a number of teams that, if the playoffs were to end, if the season were to end today, they're going to be in the playoffs, and then they're going to play that 17th game, mess around, and lose their playoff spot. That's what you're going to see.
Wonder if we'll have a 0-17 team in the time that before we get that other 18th game.
Yeah,
Is there anybody that bad?
Right now, I don't. You know what? Jacksonville might be that team. I mean, they only won that one game this year, so I don't know. It's possible, but it's hard to lose all of your games. I think in the 16 game format, it only happened twice, and we had 16 games. 70,
One of them had a parade.
78, 79, right around there. We switched to 16 games, and so Cleveland and Detroit, I think, were the only teams that made it.
Yeah, because Tampa was 0-14.
Yeah, that was their first year.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. Stop watching the game. But yeah, definitely look forward to this season. See what it has to bring as far as for our future.
Uh, definitely. You know, I just like I said, I at trade, it's all fine and dandy. My biggest issue is I want to see how they manage it going forward, as far as draft capital and as far as the salary cap, what they're going to do um, when it comes to filling in the filling out the roster in years to come. So
Yeah, we're definitely going to have to outside of this draft for this quarterback. We're definitely going to have to draft well in our other positions too. If we're going to
oh yeah,
continue to be, if we're going to continue to be
and
competitive.
and at this point, specifically in the secondary, because we have a lot of 1 year deals in that secondary. We were able to bring back 3 guys. Um, the likelihood that that's going to happen next year, not very high. One of them we got for 2 years, but the other two we have for. So we're going to really have to look to shore that up, and drafting is the best way.
Yeah, the one for sure that I thought that we weren't gonna retain, that we were gonna let walk, was Tart, but I'm pretty sure other people were thinking K'Wan Williams was really going to be the one that we weren't going to be able to retain.
Yeah.
But I think Tart was the one that was signed that I was pretty much leaning towards. That was like, you know, I thought we were going to draft somebody and have him play back there this year, or go with the other guys that kind of stepped up whenever he didn't play.
Yeah. Well, we haven't drafted, so it's still yet to be seen. I don't know what they're going to do. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll know at the end of this month.
Yeah, absolutely. And we were talking about DBs and whatnot, but I mean, there's positions all over the board that could use some help. So,
but
we just have to see how
specifically DB, because we're looking forward. When you talk about things that we're not in a position where we have a multitude of free agents coming at the end of this year anywhere but in our starting secondary.
Yeah. And we were talking about extensions and stuff like that. For Warner, obviously one of the big names. McGlinchey, possibly another name there. I'm not even looking at Bosa because that's further. I think that's a little bit further down the line, but and Tomlinson. Those are, I mean, a couple of offensive pieces that they're going to be coming up for contracts. So having that extra money down the line, whether after, I wouldn't say the Jimmy decision this year plays a big factor in that, but definitely going into next offseason, it's going to start to become a factor where we're going to have to move. We're going to have to make a decision. I don't think it's going to necessarily be how do we play? Do we trade him? No, if we can't find I think at that point, if we can't find a suitable trade partner, then we're going to be looking to cut Jimmy. If we're planning on paying some other players.
Yeah, in all likelihood, I expect that. I expect him to be there. I'm not looking at. I mean, there's all this talk hoopla. I expect him to be the starting quarterback this year.
Yeah, I mean, now, we're not going to jump the gun on anything else outside of that. I mean, there's nobody else on the roster that's better suited, even this rookie coming in, to lead the offense, that knows it as well as he does. Granted, the situation, if he goes down, then our pick is gonna have to make strides and be the starter. I don't look for us to bypass that and go to Josh Rosen. There's no way in hell.
Not likely.
Holy shit. My bad. My cat just jumped up the wall.
Hey, fellas, we are coming up a little bit at the hour mark. So I didn't know if you guys wanted to wrap up some last minute comments as we try to keep the show about an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely time to wrap up. I don't really have much of anything to say, but it's just looking forward to them getting this draft over and done. Once I can say get done looking through all four of the quarterbacks we have, I will definitely speak on all of them and tell you what my individual opinions are uh, about them, and probably dig deeper into the draft once I'm done with that and see what kind of things should we be looking at going further into the draft. What should we do? And I'll be talking about that as time goes on. It's too early for it now.
Yeah, I agree. I think that I think I'm actually going to be looking a little bit further than the quarterback position because
Definitely.
there's definitely some players that are, I'm sure, on their board that I'd like to get a feel for the rest of the prospects coming out and not just focus all my attention on just this quarterback position. Which, granted, we could spend the whole 20 some odd days looking at these 3 or 4 quarterbacks and still be
Mm,
making rolls around. So
It's
yeah, I don't want to
not.
waste all my time doing that.
It's not going to change that. I mean, you look at them, you get a good deep look at them, and it's easy to make a decision about them. I don't know why making it out to be. You never know what they're going to be once you get them in there. Everything you're looking at is college tape. Doesn't always translate. Even when it looks good, doesn't always translate. So you never know. You just look to see who's got the skills, the characteristics to be what you believe he can grow into, and you go from there. You don't sit up and dwell on it. It's not an exact science. The draft is really a big time hit and miss proposition. Um, there's no way to know. Oh, like I sit up and listen to these clowns all the time, and I'm like, not just these experts, not just, oh, we got to nail the draft. No one nails the draft. It's ridiculous. You go in there and you look at these guys. This one looks good. That one looks good. And, based on what the experts say, I don't know what these damn experts, that's a joke. You've made good choices. And then 3 years from now, um, almost every one of those players is trash. But the
Yeah, not
experts,
every team's going to nail a draft, but
no team is going to nail a draft. You get
I
lucky.
think I was going to say there's only been one team that I've looked at and said, okay, they won the Super Bowl based on this draft alone, and that took part of one of the biggest briberies in NFL
When
history. Like,
people talk about nailing the draft, basically they're saying that, the top 5 rounds, they nailed something in all of the top 5 rounds. I've never seen that. I've seen some guys hit their first few. I've seen some guys hit a couple at the top and a couple at the bottom and miss all in the middle. I've never seen, when they talk about nailing it, you don't nail a draft. You know, you know what an excellent draft is? If you get 3 quality starters out of a draft, you did excellent. And they don't have to be superstars. 3 quality starters. That's it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, that's good stuff that you guys put out there, man. I enjoyed listening to it myself, and I'm sure the fans did as well, man. So as we come up on this hour, though, we're going to keep you fans wanting some more because there's still going to be a lot to talk about on this show. We talk strictly about our San Francisco 49ers, no, not the rest. And who's got it better than us? You already know, nobody. So I appreciate my colleagues on here. Definitely appreciate you fans for chiming in. Make sure you guys spread the word and check out our YouTube channel and hit that like and subscribe. You guys got any last things y'all want to say to the fans before we call it a night?
Nah, those were my last words.
That's it.
I'm good and good
All right.
night.
All right, guys. So that does our show tonight. We enjoyed you guys. Like I said, we try to keep it about an hour. We know the attention span is short as it is, but it goes by fast when you loving your 49ers like we do. All right, guys. So I appreciate my colleagues. Much love to you guys. I'm finna call it a night because I'm starting to hit that night shift over here. But yeah. So I'll be getting up with you guys. We'll get back on Monday, and when we come back Monday, guys, stay tuned. We're gonna talk about some other things with our team. You know, because a lot of you guys are asking what direction we should go. We'll provide that probably right before the draft as this panel. You know, I can always give a synopsis for my individual self, but at the same time, I still need to see all these quarterbacks. So we'll probably come up collectively as a staff right before draft and kind of talk a little bit more in depth and see what we do. But tune in for our next show. We're going to have some hot topics.
All right, everybody, take it easy. Happy Easter.
Yep.